It's Dr. Joyce Park, board certified dermatologist, and today I'm gonna do something a little bit different from my usual skincare tips. I recently went to Paris with Fresh Beauty a couple of weeks ago. It was such a fun experience. I wanted to do a little vlog sharing all about what we did, what we ate, what we saw, and just right off the bat, I wanna share that this video is not sponsored by Fresh. They did not pay me to make this video or talk about their products. I simply wanted to share with you guys all about my trip because I had so much fun, and a lot of you actually really liked my video sharing my Parisian luxury goods haul from my big shopping trip in Paris, and that video is linked here if you want to check it out. So I thought if you enjoyed my shopping, then I'm going to tell you about the whole trip because there was a lot of shopping involved. Let's get into it. So I flew from Seattle to Paris, and the good thing about it was a non-stop flight on Delta One, and it was amazing. Didn't have to worry about my luggage getting lost because you hear a lot of horror stories about that right now. I didn't even buy air tags to put in my luggage or anything. I just trusted the process. It was a really smooth flight. It was only 10 hours, which is much shorter than I expected, seeing that it takes 6 hours to fly from here to New York. But very smooth flight. We got in. I immediately found my Fresh contacts as well as met some other influencers who were on the trip that you might recognize. So on this trip were the Fresh PR team and then me. I was the only female dermatologist there, actually. There were 3 other dermatologists there who are men, Dr. Charles Puza, Dr. Angelo, and Dr. Scott Walter, as well as Ava, which is Glow with Ava, super nice. Upon meeting everyone, I knew it was going to be a really fun time because everyone was really chill, everyone was very friendly, and so we all got into our respective cars, drove to Paris, and we were staying at the Hoxton in the 2nd arrondissement, and it was beautiful. The Hoxton, oh my gosh, if you're ever looking for a beautiful yet modern, it had AC, which was important because we were in the middle of a heat wave in Paris. And it was very friendly to tourists. I mean, their breakfast menu had avocado toast. So it was pretty American. Everyone spoke English, and they had the most amazing iced oat milk lattes. So that first day we got in, and I knew my general tip to combat jet lag is on that first day, you just are up and about that whole day and you don't let yourself sleep because you want to adjust to the new time zone as quickly as possible. So a couple of the girls and I, we immediately packed our bag and set out to go to City Pharmacy. I don't know if you are familiar with City Pharmacy, but it's one of the larger pharmacies in Paris, and it's one of the more famous ones. Like, a lot of influencers go there, a lot of people go there to buy skincare products and also regular medicines and over-the-counter ointments and things like that, ointments and salves. We walked there, and it was actually funny because it was about 95 degrees, okay? We looked up on the map how far away it was from our hotel, and Ava said, oh, it's gonna be 45 minutes. And I said immediately, I was like, all right, let's hop in the taxi. And Ava and Judy from Fresh were immediately like, no, that's definitely walkable. Paris is such a walkable city. And I was just like, you wanna walk in 95-degree weather, 45 minutes? But in the end, I gave in. And I mean, sure, I was drenched in sweat by the time we got there, but it ended up being a nice walk because we got to walk across the bridge and it was beautiful. I bought so much stuff. I actually have a lot of it in front of me here. For example, the yellow set, 5 different sunscreens to review for you, oils, bought some A313, which is a form of retinoid. We basically lost 2 hours in this pharmacy because I was looking up all of the things to buy and kind of just making sure I found everything. Some things were behind the counter, other things were just on the shelf. So it was kind of this mad dash to get everything that we wanted. I tried to convince myself not to go too crazy because I do already have a closet full of skincare at home, but alas, I still walked out with €100 of skincare goodies. After that, on the way, actually walking back to the hotel, I met up with Sonia Ong, a creator at the Ong Squad. She actually went to Stanford as well, so we're both Stanford alums, so we have that special alum connection. And she is mother of 5 kids, which I find incredible because I can barely handle having 1 toddler. And so she, Ava, and I just hung out at a cafe, and it was really nice. We had afternoon tea together. It's always fun for me to meet other creators because in my field, I mostly know dermatologists and I mostly work with dermatologists, but I also have this other life as a content creator that I don't get to talk about as much with other people. So it's really nice to get a chance to bond with her and Ava over what life is like as a content creator. And then Ava and I headed back where we got changed and got ready for dinner. That first night, we all as a team had dinner at Les Georges, which is a very nice kind of like modern art / restaurant area that's located in the Center Pompidou. And I probably said that wrong, so I'm sorry, I don't have a good French accent. We had to take an elevator all the way up to this insanely high floor and then walk through a glass tube basically to get to the restaurant. And I think in normal times, this would have been absolutely gorgeous, but because it was over 100 degrees, that glass tube was basically like an incubator. So we were running through that tube trying to get out of it as quickly as possible while also basically suffocating to death. But on the other end of it was AC in the restaurant, which was really nice. We had a very elaborate 3-course meal, which took 3.5 hours, which is the French way. And so we all had fun just chatting, getting to know each other and enjoying some good food and company before we went home and passed out. So that was day 1. Day 2 started nice and early because day 2, we were actually taking an 1.5-hour train ride outside of Paris to go visit the LVMH research labs where all the magic happens. As a scientist, dermatologist scientist, I was completely geeking out because I really enjoy seeing the actual science behind products. This was the first time that I was able to go into the lab and view everything. And they were very clear about sterile precautions. Like we had to change shoes, we had to wear booties, we had to wear gloves in certain parts of the lab. So first we visited the cell culture lab where we actually got to look at cell lines in the incubators. We didn't take them out. Then we headed over to the confocal microscopy lab. It was really cool actually. The scientists who pioneered the APT technology actually showed us under the confocal microscopy mitochondria of skin cells after oxidative stress with and without application of this T serum technology, the APT technology. And it was really cool to see visually what a difference it made where the mitochondria were intact and functional with the addition of the APT technology that was in the new T elixir serum. So it definitely brought me back to my undergrad days where I used to slave away in lab, actually culture these cell lines, look at them under the light microscopy, and then take them to the confocal microscope, take beautiful photos. Like it totally brought me back to that. We also had a chance to scan our faces with the Visia machine. So if you're not familiar with the Visia machine, that is a machine that uses different types of lights to take a 360-degree photo of your face and then help you look at and analyze all the different kind of modalities of your face, like hyperpigmentation, how much sun damage there is, level of freckling, level of redness, all of that. And so Ava was the only one who was brave enough to undergo the Visia scan, although I've done it before at multiple AAD conferences in the past. That was actually the technology that Fresh used in order to track baseline and then before and after results, basically, of their volunteers, of their study participants who used this elixir and then over time took serial scans to track and measure all the different benefits to their skin and changes in these parameters after using the T elixir serum for multiple weeks. So that was really cool to see. And we actually spent the whole day in the lab. It was really fun just being in that environment again, getting to talk to the scientists. At one point, they took us to a table where they laid out all of the different ingredients in their raw form that went into making this T elixir serum. I mean, I've never seen niacinamide in powder form before. I've never held the actual fragrance and swirled it around and tried to smell it. That was really neat for me. That was our lab experience. I came away from it feeling a lot more confident in the science behind this product because I actually saw in vitro and in vivo kind of the testing that was done to make sure that this technology is robust. The third day of the trip, the main item on the agenda was a massage. So Fresh had flown in their official masseuse, someone they had worked with before on different trips from Switzerland, and she had these magical hands. She had set up a whole hotel room with all these Fresh products. There was also obviously a massage table there. She just did this incredible facial on me. So it started with the Fresh soy cleanser, which I have been using since college, and then she followed that up with an exfoliating scrub. I believe it was the brown sugar exfoliating scrub, and then the Fresh new T elixir serum, and then followed that up with a really awesome face mask. What I really loved about this is that I don't typically get facials. Coming from a science-backed dermatology background, I've been of the mindset, what is really the point of a facial? So I've gotten a facial maybe 2 or 3 times in my life. And I think the benefit really is having someone else layer on all of these skincare products for you. It takes the work out of thinking, okay, what goes first? what goes next. A professional is designing the skincare regimen for you. And the way they apply it and the way they massage it onto your face, it just feels really nice. You know, it gets the blood flowing. It can help a little bit with lymphatic massage to get some of that trapped fluid and swelling out from your face. And number 3, I think it's just a really relaxing experience. So do I think a facial is necessary for good skin? Absolutely not. But I do think facials can be very relaxing and a form of self-care. So if you're into it, go ahead. I definitely don't think it hurts. And as long as you're using the right products and they're not, picking at your face and squeezing out pimples in a way that would cause scarring, then go for it. After my super relaxing facial, my skin was glowing. Then I decided to go shopping. I already went through my whole shopping experience in this video linked here that you guys watched. So I'm not going to go through it again. I'll just fast forward to the evening where we had the most incredible dinner. Dinner on our last evening together was at Café Le Perouse in Place de la Concorde, and it was on the private terrace. Funnily enough, Drunk Elephant was actually having their press dinner right next to us. So it was like Drunk Elephant and Fresh, and it was beautiful. I mean, the weather was great. It had finally cooled down, so it wasn't 100 degrees anymore. There was actually a rainbow because there was a light rain right as we were driving in. And so our amazing photographer slash videographer that came with us on the trip, she took me out for a little photo shoot slash video shoot, which I just felt like a princess. I mean, I was wearing this dress by Misha Los Angeles, and it just was perfect for the occasion. Food was incredible. We had a 3-course dinner and it ended with this dessert tower. I mean, I am always someone who will eat dessert before their main course. So to have this delicious dessert tower, I mean, I was in heaven. The courtyard that we were sitting in had all these lights that lit up from the ground at night, and it was so romantic and so beautiful. And after the dinner, we actually went on a couple more excursions. So the Fresh team got us tickets to go to the very top of Arc de Triomphe, staked out a spot where we could see the Eiffel Tower, and right at 10 o'clock, it lit up like a Christmas ornament. And then our photographer, Elizabeth, knew all the good spots to get the best shots, so that she took us over to an area where there were not a lot of people, and we were able to take shots right on the riverbank. So we did a little impromptu photo shoot, video shoot there as well, which I'll share the footage, and it was such a magical night. The next day was my last full day in Paris. I actually extended my trip by a day so that I could experience a little bit more of Parisian life, since, 3 days is very short to go from Seattle to Paris. That last day, I kind of just took it easy. I tried to go shopping a little bit more. I tried to go to Hermes, and I didn't have a contact there, so I didn't end up buying anything, but it was still great. I went to Ladurée, I ate some macarons. I went to a famous Madeleine bakery, which I'm blanking on the name of, but I bought a set of Madeleines to bring home to my husband because he had been home with toddler all week, and just walked around the streets of Paris, went to the gardens, the Jardin des Tuileries, and that was really fun. Just walked around by myself for a while. And then that night, I actually ended up transferring to a hotel just close by the airport at Charles de Gaulle because I had an early flight the next morning. So my flight the next morning took off at 10, but I got to the airport around 7 a.m. and I'm really glad I did because the line to get your VAT refund was very long. So word to the wise, to get your VAT refund, you have to keep your purchases on your person. So don't pack them away in your checked luggage. Do not check your bag beforehand. First thing you do at the airport is go to the VAT refund counter. First, you scan the paperwork that you got from your sales associate where you made your purchase. And if you get a green check mark, then you're good to go. You don't have to talk to anyone. If you get a red X like I did, then you actually have to wait in line and show your purchases to the officer. So I got a red X, so I had to wait in line for about an hour because there were a lot of people there that early in the morning. Then the officer went ahead and examined all my goods before allowing me to proceed on my way. Then you go back to the check-in desk for your airline, and then you check your baggage. Obviously, I kept all my nice stuff with me in my carry-on because I don't want to risk my baggage getting lost, which it turned out there was a high chance that it would get lost because unfortunately my flight back had a connection in London, in Heathrow. And so our flight leaving Paris was late. We got to London, there was a delay getting the jet bridge, and so I ran breathlessly to catch my next flight, but sadly it was not meant to be. And so I missed my flight. And then what ensued was like 2 hours of panicked calling and texting a lot of people. But luckily I was able to get on the next flight, which took me back to Seattle, and I only landed like a couple hours later than I was originally scheduled. That was my Paris trip in a nutshell. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Is it pronounced vlog or vlog? I don't even know. I'm so new to this. If you liked it, leave me a comment below, subscribe to my channel because there's a lot more skincare and lifestyle content coming out because I think you like that. Not sure, you'll have to let me know. Until then, I will see you guys next time. Bye.